Picture a still pond at dawn. The surface is completely green, blanketed by something so small you would miss it if you weren't looking closely. Now picture that same pond 48 hours later. The green has doubled. Every single speck has become 2. Another 48 hours, and it doubles again. This is not algae. This is not pond scum. This is the fastest growing protein source on Earth. And the chemical fertilizer industry has spent the last 60 years making sure you never heard of it. In 2018, researchers at Ben Gurion University ran a clinical trial that pitted soft cheese and green peas against a plant most participants had never seen before. They fed 36 men identical portions of protein and tested their blood. The plant outperformed the cheese. Essential amino acids spiked higher. Digestibility hit 89%, rivaling animal protein, and vitamin B12 levels surged. The plant they were testing weighs less than a grain of sand. It is called Wolffia globosa. In Thailand, they call it eggs of the water. In the West, if anyone knows it at all, they call it duckweed. And it is about to make you question everything you thought you knew about feeding the world. Let's look at what this actually is. Wolffia is the smallest flowering plant on Earth. It has no roots and no leaves in the traditional sense. It's just a microscopic green oval floating on water that reproduces by budding off daughter plants every 29 to 48 hours. Under optimal conditions, it contains up to 45% protein by dry weight. That is higher than soybeans, higher than quinoa, and higher than beef. But unlike most plant proteins, it isn't missing anything. It contains all 9 essential amino acids and, incredibly, bioactive vitamin B12. Something plants aren't supposed to have. Through a unique symbiosis with bacteria living inside its tissue, this plant provides the one nutrient vegans usually have to supplement. NASA noticed. Recent studies confirm that Wolffia maintains its protein production even in microgravity. Theoretical calculations suggest that just 600 grams of fresh Wolffia per day could meet an astronaut's complete protein requirements on a Mars mission. No soil, no massive fields, just microscopic plants growing in water tanks, doubling every 2 days. So if this plant is so perfect, efficient, nutritious, and fast-growing, why isn't it feeding the Earth right now? The answer, as always, is money. Since the invention of the Haber-Bosch process in the early 20th century, the world has relied on synthetic nitrogen fertilizer. It turned agriculture into a $200 billion industry tall, dependent on chemicals. Wolffia threatens that entire model. It doesn't need soil, it doesn't need synthetic fertilizer. It absorbs nutrients directly from water, even wastewater, turning pollution into food. But the real problem for the industry is that you can't patent it, and you don't need to buy seeds every year. You just need one microscopic plant and a bucket of water. In 48 hours, you have 2. In a month, you have 1 billion. This is decentralized food production that grows on rooftops and in backyards, completely outside the industrial system. For decades, cultural conditioning and funding bias kept this plant labeled as pond scum in the West, while people in Southeast Asia have been eating it for centuries. But the secret is Willabeladiang out. With the European Food Safety Authority recently approving it as a novel food, and companies now cultivating it as a superfood, the suppression is ending. You can actually buy Wolffia cultures today. You can start with a single speck in a bucket on your balcony, and theoretically grow more protein than you could ever eat. It doesn't need their fertilizers. It doesn't need their seeds. It just needs water and light. Every bucket of duckweed growing on a rooftop is a small act of rebellion against a system built on scarcity and control. If this story opened your eyes to what's been hidden in plain sight, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are digging into nature's lost vault, and there is so much more to uncover. The most revolutionary crop on Earth was floating right in front of us the whole time. The only question now is, what are you going to do with it?